Hi guys, we're here at the 2015 NAMM convention and we're here with the incredible John Petrucci. Thanks so much for taking the time to do this in your crazy busy schedule, I guess.
Thank you. And we know that we're at NAMM because you have your...
Yeah, I have my badge on and I look like shit, as Toby, our cameraman, just said.
the confidence boost.
Yeah, I'm psyched for this now.
Yeah.
So we've been dialing in a tone print for the new Helix Phaser.
Yeah.
And I think you came up with something really, really great. Can you let us know a little bit about what you wanted to achieve with the sound?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm like really psyched that you came out with a Phaser because I'm, as you know, obviously a huge TC fan forever, and we did the Dreamscape together.
Yeah.
And I've always like, but you don't make a Phaser.
Yeah.
You know.
You've been telling that to me for a while.
You don't make a Phaser. Yeah. So now you make a Phaser. So I'm really excited about it. And for me, like the Phaser sound, I guess that I, sort of first heard and fell in love with was really on like early Rush albums, or Floyd. So it's kind of like that '70s thing. I think of like a Farewell to Kings or 2112, and listening to that stuff and hearing that kind of effect on Alex's guitar. So what I wanted to go for with the tone print was more in that direction.
Yeah.
I would say the modern twist on it is that I don't generally, I should say at all, I don't like pedals to add any sort of distortion. No. So I go for more of like a hi-fi version of that, with the chorus, with delays, things like that. Anything to add some distortion to me, like I worked so hard on my clean sound, getting it clean. Yeah. So same thing with the Phaser. I didn't want that sort of, although I said 70s, I don't want like a retro, grainy, distorted thing. No. Yeah, so that was the direction. So it's kind of like an updated, vintage vibe.
I probably made a vintage vibe.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. We fixed all the problems.
Yeah. So basically we dialed away any kind of grid that we can add in the software. We removed all of that so it's just completely pristine.
Yep.
And another thing we did that's kind of unique is that you tested both the positive and the negative feedback.
Yeah, I love what you did here. So on the feedback control, there were some qualities about the positive that I liked and some about the negative that I liked. And, if you want to go for more of like a dreamy sort of washy sound, you might pick one over the other. And instead of having to choose, you made it so that on the feedback knob, center is sort of neutral, I guess you would call it. And if you go to the right, is it positive to the right?
Yeah, positive to the right.
Positive to the right, it will increase as it goes up. And then this might seem counterintuitive, but as you back it down, the negative effect will rise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it kind of gets even more. It almost sounds like a wah thing
like
going on.
Wah
Yeah. So I love that. That's a great feature of this tone print.
So can you play us a few examples? Of
Exactly. Again, thinking about like the early like Rush sound, I think of 2112 and these big sort of chords with the different open strings ringing, like that. Yeah, and it has that. I don't know. It puts me in this kind of dreamy place, probably because the examples that those bands, when they wrote a section and put a Phaser on it, it probably was a more dreamy compositional thing. That's the sound. Totally brings me back to those albums. All those kind of chords, that none of these chords exist without some kind of like open
that has
string.
To be some open string stuff.
Yeah, that kind of, and it creates like a little bit of a dissonant tension. Even these prettier ones, there's all these open things, and that's the sound. The sus2 ones sound great with that. These big chords. those kind of chords.
Yeah, when you get those kind of very close note clusters, like semitones apart and stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Phaser is like perfect for that, because it kind of interacts with the strings and creates this, you know, washy, psychedelic-y kind of sound. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool,
so,
man.
What do you want to call it?
You know, thinking about a phaser and probably like the phases of the moon.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the moon, and so we'll call it the Lunar Eclipse.
The Lunar Eclipse.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect name. It
Awesome.
sounds great, so thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah, man, it's my pleasure, and thanks so much for making a phaser.
Well, thank you.
It's great. That'll be on the next album, for sure.
We like the sound of that.
Cool.
That's cool.
Awesome.